we have to pour into our staff so that they can have the new and greatest technology or the greatest methods for teaching our kids. As we know, we're seeing a influx of kids that we call the COVID babies.
Yeah.
And they need a little bit more attention than what we probably needed when we were younger.
Welcome to the IAAQLI 6 Pillars in Action podcast, where we deep dive into the transformative impact of the work being done in Indianapolis Black communities. Get ready to be inspired by the incredible projects and organizations making a real difference in the lives of Indianapolis residents. And that conversation starts right now.
Welcome to another episode of the 6 Pillars in Action podcast. I'm your host, Samantha Douglas, and on this podcast, we take an in-depth look at the incredible work of the IAAQLI, or the Indianapolis African American Quality of Life Initiative. Today, we have the pleasure of being here with Ashley from the Purpose of Life Academy, or POLA, as you guys have been calling it. I love POLA. So we'll jump right into it and kind of talk about, first of all, I guess, introduce yourself. Tell us who you are to the Academy and how you got involved in this work.
Well, thanks for having us on the show today. My name is Ashley Hogue. I am the Academy Director at Purpose of Life Academy, also known as POLA, as you mentioned. I've been doing this work for almost 15 years now. Graduated from college from Anderson University with a degree in business management, and then found myself still at the church working and taking care of the kids in early childhood education.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Did you like Anderson?
I loved it.
Oh, good. See, that's for all the kids that are applying for college right now. See, look, somewhere close. So tell us about the organization, what you all have, like what you all do, how you all got here to having the academy.
Okay. Well, the visionary, Pastor Green, who's the leader of Purpose of Life Ministry, said back when we moved to our new location in 2002, he wanted an education component. He's always been for young people and seniors. So at that point, we developed an early childhood education. It was known as Second Baptist Child Care Ministry, and later we changed the name to Purpose of Life Academy because a lot of families would not attend because it said Baptist. Oh, okay. And so let's find our purpose, share our purpose, and live our purpose. So Purpose of Life Academy. So 2002, we moved in on the west side of Indianapolis, right down the street from Lafayette Road. So if you see the big white brick building on Kessler on I-65, that's us with the blue sign out. We are PASA Quality Level 4, NACE accredited facility, and we're a bilingual school. So we teach both English and Spanish. We teach from the Becker curriculum that has been around for a number of years that specializes in social emotional skills with the kids, also the faith background, so to help the kids build their character.
That's amazing. I know a lot of people will look at, like, especially our Black churches, and we know everybody has like a child care school, academy, or whatever. Like, what sets you guys apart?
We are high quality.
Yeah.
We have had that standard the whole entire time. So when we registered as an unlicensed registered ministry, they were like, well, these are state standards. Well, we're going to follow the state standards as well. We're not just going to settle for being an unlicensed registered ministry. And then we went up the chain for PASA Quality Level 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm the go-getter. We're not just going to sit here and wait 3 months. Come on, let's get it, knock it out. And that's what we did. And by us being a bilingual school, teaching both English and Spanish, we have kind of moved along with the diversity of our community. So originally there was a lot of Hispanic families in our community, and now recently we have attracted a lot of Haitian Creole families into our program. So we do have a lot of French-speaking families that speak Swahili, So I do have my translator out on my phone
Yeah.
almost every day, helping with the communication
Same.
with our families.
Same. We have such a growing immigrant population that is just, like, we have to be up on everything. That's incredible work. So when you guys saw the opportunity for the IAAQLI grant, what kind of alignment did you see for your organization in going after this funding?
When we heard about the funding, at first it was like, okay, we're doing good, but we can do better. And so we looked at what can we do to help the staff, and that was the staff development piece. So we started researching like what assessments are quality, so we can begin to assess our children. As we all know, data is always important. You can always get funding from this partner, that partner, but at the end of the day, are we being successful with our students? Of course, we always get feedback from families, but we want that data to say, hey, 9 out of 10 was successful. They graduated high school, went to college. What does it look like? So our goal has been, let's follow our students from the time that they arrive into our program to the time that they leave, and even after college. So at this point, we are starting to see second and third generations of families coming into our program.
That's awesome. So what specifically did you all get this funding for? Or what was it, what did it allow you to do?
The professional development with our staff, also to purchase materials, as far as we were able to purchase a program called a live studio, which we were able to put on our smart boards, and we are able to teach the children their alphabet, and it has real life animals like popping out at them, like we're talking about alligators.
Yeah.
A for alligator, and the alligators kind of coming out toward them from the screen, and the kids really enjoy that.
Yeah.
And then it makes sounds. So that was something that we were able to purchase from the NACCE conference and bring back. Also, the professional development, education being one of our number one priorities, we were able to do local professional development trainings here with IAAQLI, and also take our staff to national conferences in Washington, California last year, Nashville, Tennessee the year prior to that, because we can't only educate our kids, we have to pour into our staff so that they can have the new and greatest technology or the greatest methods for teaching our kids. As we know, we're seeing a influx of kids that we call the COVID babies.
Yeah.
And they need a little bit more attention than what we probably needed when we were younger.
Oh my God. I'm just now realizing COVID babies they can be like 4 and 5 right now. That is crazy.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And so trying to teach them, helping them with their social emotional skills. Because a lot of times in the midst of COVID, parents were just giving them tablets. So they weren't in school, or grandma, great auntie, somebody was keeping them. So being able to engage them and know how to work with them in the classroom, having the correct tools. Because one thing that we're seeing in our program is every day we have 4 or 5 different therapists that are coming in to help our students because they're needing that extra assistance. And my staff is needing to know the knowledge on how to help them in the classroom.
Yeah. So what specific outcomes did you guys envision when you got this funding, and have you been able to realize those?
Most definitely, I was able to go back to school, get my master's degree with this grant. Our assistant director as well was able to go back to school. She's finishing up her bachelor's. Hopefully she'll be done the early part of next year. And we had several staff to attend CDA classes to complete those coursework. And also being able to financially increase salaries of our staff members so that they can get to livable wages was another important access.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much for telling us about this program, especially from your perspective. I know we'll have another guest coming up next to give us a little more background. And then for the families interested, how can they connect with POLA?
They can always reach out to us on our website, www.polaindy.com, or they can call us at our office at 317-925-0335.
Okay, thank you so much, and thank you for being with us here today. Up next, we will have another person coming from POLA to give us a more in-depth look on how the program goes. Welcome back to the Six Pillars in Action podcast. We are still learning more about POLA, and this time, or the Purpose of Life Academy. I just like POLA. And we are back with Amani. So, Amani, your story is unique in that you were a part of the academy. You went off to school, and now you've come back and you work for the academy. That's incredible. So, tell us about that and what led you back.
Yes, it is full circle.
Yeah.
I would say that when me and, my family, me and my sister are both 7 years apart. So when I went off to elementary school, it was her turn to attend Purpose of Life Academy. But Purpose of Life in general started off, giving us the foundation to go off to elementary school, and then us coming back having, Purpose of Life is our second home, and then the Hogues and Greens are our second family. So it definitely warms your heart, and it's like a full circle moment that, these programs that are, being built are, doing something. They are, getting our future scholars ready for, what's to come after, so.
That's amazing. So did you always know you wanted to do this work, like work with the little ones, or
with the littles?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. That's kind of why I was a little hesitant, because I was like, I always thought about education, but more so with older kids. So when this opportunity came about, I'm like, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
I know nothing about littles, but we'll figure it out. So that's kind of what NACCE conference was.
Yeah.
I had just started, and I was given the opportunity to go with the other teachers. And so going, I was like, okay, why am I going? What's this reason? Why do I need to go to this conference? So I can understand, why little kids behave the way they behave, or, what I can do to engage them, because, they can like something and not like it the next second. So I need to keep them engaged. So I think going to the conference definitely gave me my why as to why I wanted to go into early childhood education. And so now, knowing the information that I received from the NACCE conference, it kind of gave me a confidence boost to take that information back home and apply it, see the results, and feel, satisfied that I was able to attend and can now spread my information on and get other teachers' opinions. And so I think the conference definitely kind of gave me that go.
And it was through the IAAQLI funding that you guys were able to go to this conference, right? And so tell me about the conference. Where'd you guys go? How long was it? Like,
it was a week long. We went to California, and we
California.
yes, we were able to attend classes. We got to pick where we wanted to get our training. So obviously, I'm new. I didn't know what was for me. So with the journalism background, I kind of wanted to tie that in, but also, learn the education side. So I took a few classes with my fellow peers, but I also ventured out myself. And so a lot of the classes were, behaviors. A lot of it was, certain different demographics of students. We cater more to African-American kids, Hispanic, and so now we're getting more of, Haitians, and so having to, I guess, what's the word? They're a different perspective other than just Black kids. So
yeah. Oh, tell me about that. Like, so you say you did some of the courses like with some of your colleagues. So what kind of sessions were those?
A major one that I remember it was about joy, and I'm like, why am I taking this silly class about joy? Like, obviously, I know what joy is. I know how to find joy, but it was for finding joy in the workplace with kids. And it's like some days I'm not as joyful. I'm needing a Red Bull in the morning.
Yeah.
So it was kind of how to focus on the positives. You have a child who, comes in every morning with an attitude, and you just don't understand, and now you have an attitude. We both have attitudes. There's like, wait, step back. Why does this child have an attitude, and he's just a baby, and he's acting the way he acts? I kind of had to pull myself out of it and my feelings out of it and pour it back into, why are you so upset?
Oh, I love that. That's so sweet. You guys are so sweet. I always think people who work with little kids, like, first of all, you are a godsend because we can't wait to send them to you.
Right.
That's one. And then also though, to be able to maintain that lightness in spirit with these babies, because there are so many complex challenges. So tell me about how the conference helped in that way, like overcome some of those challenges, and then what is it that you say you're to come back and share that information? It's like, what information or what did you learn that you're coming back and you're sharing?
Yeah, I would say it was just like nice to feel that I wasn't the only one that was just wondering why. Like there's, thousands of teachers across not just, Indiana, but the United States that are having, these issues, and whether, we're obviously in different demographics. So having that information and taking it back to the teachers that didn't get to go, it was kind of giving them a piece of, I want to say, just knowledge about, okay, they learned that, so what can I take that they learned and what I know now, because, some of the teachers were more experienced than me, and how I can, change it in our classroom.
Oh, I love that. So again, tell us how people can get connected to the Academy. What is you all's process for like intake for those kids and stuff? Like, give us a little overview of that.
We do accept CCDF. I know they're not currently giving funding out, but come in, see us, get a tour, know where your kids are going before you just try to, enroll them. People don't always realize, but early childhood education is important just as much as sending them off to, elementary school and seeing, the quality of your education. Yeah. And knowing that I got a head start between my kindergarten class when I was little, but that wouldn't have been possible without, early childhood education and Purpose of Life Academy.
Yeah. So tell us the website again.
Yes, it's polaindy.com. We're always updating with resources for parents, our newsletter, what we're doing at Purpose of Life Academy. So yes, come visit us. Don't be shy.
Do you guys have social media?
We do. We're working on it. We have our Facebook, Purpose Life Academy, and then we're working on newsletters and TikTok's coming soon. But
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here and for sharing your experience. I'm excited to see you all getting that development that you need to really go and be effective with these children that it's so desperately needed.
Yes.
Thank you so much. When we come back, we will have Imhotep here from Kheprw, and we'll get to learn more about the Institute and how they're using their IAAQLI funding.
Coming up, hear from another IAAQLI awardee and learn more about the impact and work being done in our community. And don't forget, subscribe to our podcast and visit the IAAQLI website and learn more about the work being done and ways to get involved.
Welcome back to the 6 Pillars in Action podcast. Of course, I'm still your host, Samantha Douglas, but this time we are here with Imhotep from Kheprw Institute. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on?
So first of all, I know for many folks you don't need any introduction, but I want you to introduce yourself and tell us about what brought you to this work into Kheprw.
Imhotep, Kheprw Institute. What brought me to Kheprw? Being free and staying free, the journey to that. Born and raised here in Indianapolis, West Side. My mother's a single parent, raised 3 boys near Riverside. She's from Canton, Mississippi. My dad's from Jackson, Mississippi. And she may or may not have a high school diploma. Rumor has it, we're not sure. But nevertheless, she was able to raise 3 boys pretty much by herself off the block. A lot of who I am, who I've become, all the good things I attribute to her trying to keep this young, wild child from killing itself and surviving, and she managed to do that. She's 94. She still calls and tries to tell me what to do. And on my best days, I get it right. On my worst days, it's, oh, Lord, let me talk to Paulette Fair. I need to talk to a grown person. That's Miss Fair, who's the matriarch in our space. She's 82 years old. And so my journey is the journey of black people in America.
Yeah.
And the continuation of attempting to adapt, change, and deal with the challenges of the experience we have as black folks here.
Yeah.
Across the water. That's the journey here. The particular story of Kheprw, we only got 15 minutes. I'm going to try to speed
I know.
this
Yeah.
baby up.
Yeah.
So I went to college during the period of the resistance to apartheid, South Africa. So a lot of my international consciousness came from that experience. And went to school at IUPUI, back when it was called IUPUI, and was involved in a lot of organizations dealing with the same kind of thing, the Black Student Union, the National Society of Black Engineers. And through that, I met my life partner, Pambana, and who was also in the National Society of Black Engineers in Michigan. She went to school there. And out of that, we created this idea, say, hey, we're going to start our own independent organization. This happened after we caused enough trouble at the university that the next year, our funding disappeared.
Oh, no.
So I said, okay, you won't be doing that here anymore. So we went to the block, started doing our own thing, and then out of that, other things emerged. Years later, my son, Diop, left a piece out, critical piece. I met Ms. Fair, Paulette Fair, and her husband at a book study we launched back at Coppin Chapel Church some 37 years ago. She was there, her husband Turner Fair was there, and we read these books in community, black books about our history that, of course, you got little of it then and you get even less of it now, as we all know. And that's how we met. And he was one of my early mentors. He created this product called AfriChart Products. There's 2 wall charts. They're all over the world, still available. Did I say AfriChartProducts.com? Get you one. Please check it out. It still supports our work financially. So fast forward, I ran a T-shirt company. At that time, my wife was actually working at the Urban League with some OGs over there that are friends of mine. Y'all know who they are. Willis Bright, Rod Bohannon, Mark Russell, and Tony. And so just had the opportunity to meet people trying to do the right thing in community. We all have different ways to do it.
Yeah.
But building relationship with each other as we're trying to navigate the ongoing challenge of being black in America and black in the world. So I decided after I had to close my T-shirt company after 10 years, what am I going to do next? I said, I'm going to start a consulting company. So I started this consulting company called Scarabus Consulting. And I'm going to go out and then provide training to other organizations in how do you run your business. And at that time, a friend of mine was running a nonprofit called Rehab Resource. And he asked me to come and help support his work. So I said, okay, sure. And at that time, Paulette, who I mentioned, one of the other founders of the organization, had taken an opportunity to help the same organization. So she was there, and I had to convince her to take that role. Took her a year. Said, okay, sure, I'll do it. And her grandson, who lived in Florida, would come visit every summer, and my son, Diop, would be available. And every year in the summer, we would make sure we got our boys together just to do cultural enrichment, keep them off the streets, et cetera, so forth.
Yeah.
Well, that particular year, my son, Diop, who was always too smart for school, was too smart for what he needed to go to summer school, and he decided he got an E in his algebra class. which meant he had to go to summer school. But it was pre-internet days. He beat the mail home. So we didn't find out he had to go until it was too late to go. And my wife put on a call and hit the roof. You better do something with this boy. Whoop, 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 whoop. So he had to come to the office with me every day, lost all of his summer privileges. Her grandson was coming up for the summer. So out of that, our first summer enrichment program was born at Rehab Resource.
Oh, that's amazing.
And then at that time, pure entrepreneurship. You know, I'm born and raised, you know, pulling it out of the mud. Then I got there, I said, man, this nonprofit model is interesting. You mean to tell me you can go over and get grant money and write-offs, et cetera? So we actually literally hired a lawyer, put together the nonprofit organization in 2003, and that's how the nonprofit was born.
Wow.
Now, the model we use is intergenerational approach to our work. Everywhere you go, you'll find young folks and older folks working together on various kinds of projects in various kind of spaces.
Yeah.
And we use the social enterprise as the primary framework for involving our young people in this activity. So our very first enterprise was called the Good Stuff Thrift Store, and it was in the basement of the warehouse. And of course, these young men had to, when we got it started, some of their homies said, hey, can we come? Can we join? I said, hey, you know, if you want to get these boys right, make sure you bring their peers along.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on them, too, because you already know how the game works.
Yep.
So in about 3 weeks, we had 5 young African-American males, high school students, in our program, and they were working, in quotes, and helping to launch this thrift store, and they had to do some educational enrichment. And that summer, the project was basically learning about W.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington. And at the end of the summer, they had to give a presentation to family and friends. And these young boys, back then, you know, you're wearing your pants down around your ankles, et cetera. And so they had to all present on it. And the parents were impressed. The children were proud of their presentation. And then they said, can we come back in the fall? And that was the birth of Kheprw.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Just, I love how organically it came about. Like, you don't always hear, you know, organic stories where that's something that I push our community on, is like looking at what happens organically and how do we wrap structure around that so that we can make sure it's sustainable. And so when you all saw the IAAQLI opportunity come up, what kind of alignment did you see between what Kheprw is doing and the IAAQLI grant opportunity?
So many. You know, our work is, the last piece about organic. Most of our work still to this day is formed around the organic element. So people come to us, they want to do X, Y, and Z. So we've got the infrastructure, not quite at all the capacity we would like, to figure out how to help others in our communities with their vision. So with the African American Quality of Life Program, for example, we were already working with this idea of the community land trust, housing, affordable housing, et cetera. Said, okay, there's a place. So that was one piece. We were at that time also had launched a project at that time out of Boston called we were involved in an initiative called the Boston Impact Initiative. And it taught us how to raise funds to provide patient capital, low-cost loans, and TA to entrepreneurs. And we applied for money in that space, too, so we received support from the African American Quality of Life to support our Kheprw Integrated Fund. In fact, we got in round 1. I think we've got some re-up on that same initiative for this upcoming round. The housing piece, food, we got food work that we also applied for and received some funding for. And in the food space, I've told you about the 17 acres farm we acquired on the south side. So we're growing food on the south side, providing space for others to utilize that land. And again, the intergenerational component with young people, older people working together and living and learning with each other. The technology piece now, you know, we're all so heavily depend on the technology. So our youngsters help OGs like
Yeah.
myself navigate the complexities of these tools.
Yeah.
So, and then out of that, those relationships build. And when we do it really well, this is the hard part for us older folks, is to remember at one time we were also in our 20s.
Yeah.
So try to find some ways to build and communicate with each other around that. So I think those are the key spaces related to the funding, food, the entrepreneurship, and the housing.
Okay. And so tell us about how the funding specifically empowered the Community Land Trust.
Thank you. The Community Land Trust, the project required in this model before, one of our goals, we had some other dollars from, I think, the city to, hey, look, can you guys launch an independent community land trust for the city of Indianapolis? And we, of course, ignorance can be bliss. When you don't know, you take on things, oh, my. So we did that, launched it.
Yeah.
But the dollars from the African American Quality of Life was used to help subsidize the cost of acquisition for 4 properties that are now in the Community Land Trust. And those properties, those dollars were used to identify potential homeowners that would be in the land trust. So 3, and that we're working on the last one now, and that will have completed the model project utilizing those funds from African American Quality of Life.
Wow, that's incredible. So with the Community Land Trust, you all were able to acquire these properties and then also help other people get into those?
Yeah, the goal was to make these properties available to, I want to say 80 AMI, might be lower, but basically folks who could not afford to purchase properties if they didn't have the subsidies and they had a lower income level that traditional financing would not allow them to acquire property. So
That's amazing. I love that you said, so every time I think of Kheprw, I think of the Northwest side, but I heard you say that you all have this farm that's on the south side.
if you're asking about where we located, so we're not bound by geography.
Okay.
We're bound by philosophy.
Yeah.
Now, the physical assets that we own locally are, 17 acres on the south side and the 3802 Alchemy Community Wealth Building Center on the corner of 38th Illinois. So those are north side location and our south side location. Look for the beetle.
Okay.
You see the beetle, you know you found the space. So.
That's amazing. So how can what kind of people do you all serve, and who do you anticipate, like, if folks are watching this, who do you feel like they should connect with us or our services or the work that we do?
Well, first of all, work is built on relationships first and foremost, not transactions.
Right.
So we are heavy on people first, people centered. So that's the main theme of our work. Are you relational in how you get down?
Yeah.
And we don't live in a culture that emphasizes relationships as primary.
Yeah.
We're very transactional. You know, do this, get this. And often it's extractive. You know, it's not win-win. It's I win, maybe you win. So if you're relational in nature, that's primary. And those are the kinds of folks that we most connect to. I think the other piece of that would be the vision. What's your vision? So another member of the community recently came to her name is Ashley. She has a vision for starting a girls program called Girls Code. And she grew up in the Girl Scouts, et cetera. She's got a couple of young girls herself. And she came and said, hey, how can we work together? So we now are supporting her vision by trying to provide space, some infrastructure, our organizational infrastructure supported. She's written a grant. I think she's applied for the next round of African American Quality of Life. She asked, could we be a fiscal sponsor? So of course we can. Yeah. So anybody that's got an idea that looks like it fits community wealth building, that's what we're calling it. Yeah. With a relationship aspect, first and foremost, get at us. I would probably say the best way right now is to go over to alchemy.org. Kheprw.org, ALKHEMY.org, ALKHEMY.org. Send an email over, hit us up and said, hey, I heard the podcast with the host Samantha. Get at us, and maybe I'll get our crew to put something up, and we'll offer free registration to win a book or something.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you for being here with us today.
No worries.
So thank you all so much for watching today. We hope you learned a lot, and make sure you check out the rest of our content on all of our other outlets, whether it's social media or YouTube. It's always at IAAQLI. Until next time.
We hope you enjoyed today's 6 Pillars in Action podcast and learned more about how the IAAQLI funding is impacting our city. And remember, to stay up to date on what's happening with IAAQLI and the 6 Pillars in Action, subscribe to the podcast in Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Play. You can also check out the 6 Pillars in Action newsletter, blogs, and other videos on our website at IAAQLI.org. Until next time, let's continue to celebrate the power of transformation. See you next time.